Well, folks, just thought I'd give you a bit of a kind of update. It's 4 in the morning, can't sleep again. What's been going on? Fighting with the NHS, trying to get treatment organised and a diagnosis organised, which is really, NHS is in a bloody mess. And so I am trying to fight the NHS to get things in place. They have given me mood stabilisers. So this is my third day on them, so it'll probably take a week or two for them to really get in my system and hopefully help me kind of find a wee bit of a balance, because it's been so hard. My mind is just, again, I think, it's just like a psychological wall, I guess, in my head, just to, I guess it's just trying to protect itself. But that means that I've got no memories, so yep. I don't know if I said in the last video, but it's been struggling with suicidal, what you call ideation, where you're just kind of thinking about hurting yourself and just doing some stupid stuff. Not that I want to be doing it, but it's just I'm trying to suppress all these negative feelings. About grieving for my dad, man, getting ripped off. All my plans are really out the window. Flat broke. Desperate to get a lawyer to try and get this prick to court, man. But when you're in the depths of your mental health, just the shit of your mental health, man, you're just not capable. I've tried calling a lot of lawyers, and just it's so that emotionally exhausting when you've got nothing in the tank to go through the story over and over again. So I'm really having to force myself to put this in the back burner, and that's stressful because it's kind of like that unknown. Are you going to get justice or not? So I've got all these different, really heavy different experiences, and I'm just having to somehow put them in a box and just put them to the side. It's so devastating, My paranoia, so talking about that, the suicidal thing, I wasn't even thinking about it. And about a month ago, I was just in my bed trying to get to sleep, and just that word, I wasn't even thinking about it, just the word came into my head: hang yourself. As soon as that word came in, all these emotions came flooding about what you do feel when you're in that situation, because I've been there many times before, and it was so overwhelming. And normally in the past, I used to you might not understand it, but I do, and other folk will. You punch your face to try and create enough physical pain that it snaps you out of that kind of thought process. And so this happened twice. And both times I took a knife to my arms. Not deep slashes, but must have been 20 cuts in my arms, deep enough to get the blood going, and deep enough. The reason you do it is just you need that kind of physical shock to snap you out of this suicidal obsession, man. And I get pissed off, and I wanted to share it with Alan, so that he can join in my experience, of what I'm going through. So I sent him another email, and I sent him a photo of my arms all freshly cut. So just wanted him to be up to speed about how I'm enjoying the £14,000 worth of work in my van. So that's twice I've cut myself a out. It was quite bad. And then just really, you know, Alan, I rely on my faith like I was talking to you about, you know, because it happened a third time, and I thought I can't be cutting myself like this, because it will get worse. So that's when I got in. I just prayed to my God, and thank goodness ever since then I've had about 2 weeks of just being able to go to sleep. I say my wee prayers before going to sleep, and there's quite a big difference as far as feeling that a lot calmer, and no thoughts aren't coming anymore, provided I keep my faith. That's wee Mo up, because it's 4 in the morning and I'm up, so she doesn't like to sleep in the bed alone. So she's got a foot that was broken a couple of years ago, and the plan was to use some of my money to get surgery on it to get it fixed, because she's suffering with it, especially with the frost, and you know, when she's so she's limping about. That was supposed to get fixed by an operation. Can't do that because I've got no flipping money. But I went up to see, let's just call him John, the new company, because I don't want to drag him into this shit. But I went up and saw him because I was paranoid, thinking that he was going to fuck me. This is how your head goes. And I put a crowbar in the car, because I was like, man, if he fucked me, then I'm really off my head. But and I was gunning it all the way over, and I got there, and to my great relief, it was there. All the shit's been stripped out of the van, and he's taken a really detailed photographic journal of everything as he's stripping it all down. And he said, Aaron, it would have only been a matter of time for your van to go up in smoke, because all your electrical joins were just twisted together. There was no solder involved. There was no heat shrink on the joins. Electrical tape. My fridge freezer that I paid £1,300 for, it came from Italy. The copper piping that supplies the liquid from the compressor to the fridge, it was actually folded over, and he was amazed that it actually worked. But, he just took a really detailed documentation of all the work, and he's just shocked. But he's a great guy, really genuine. So what he's done, and he's organised with a lorry company that spray paint lorries, because only they have a big enough spray booth. And he's stripped everything off of the roof, solar panel, the wee plastic kind of box that feeds the wire from the outside into the inside. He's taking photographs of that, and he said, look, there's rust already where the water is getting in from the outside because it hasn't been correctly sealed. And just all the wiring, it's really disgusting. It's really bad. And you know, there's metal work inside the van that's just been bent over just to fit the Truma boiler in. So he stripped all that out. It's going for paint now. The company that's going to paint has to seal up all the holes that have been made in the roof and on the side where the Truma boiler was vented and the electrical hookup was there. So he's getting the company to seal up all these holes, and about a third of the van, the full roof is getting repainted, and then that one panel of the side of the van where the holes were made, that will be all painted. And they said, don't worry, after that what's going to happen is your full van is going to get a full buff. So when you see your van from the outside, it's going to look brand new. And so he said it's going to take about 3 weeks, you know, time the van gets back, and he said then we get into it, and he's wanting me involved with it, so I can do all the joinery work and work with him. But I was with him only for about an hour and I had to come home. But see for the rest of that day, I was so emotionally wiped out because the trauma of getting screwed is with that van. So when I see that van, all that emotion from what Alan done to me, it comes flooding back, as opposed to before when I first bought the van, and when I looked at the van, it was positive emotions about keeping the memory of my father, and just almost him being there, walking through the enjoyment process of creating a van and getting it done. So yeah, it's really, that's why I'm having to really lock myself away in the flat and get these mood stabilisers, and I'm stressed out because I need the NHS to get their shit together, because I need as much support as I can. I went today to a kind of charity group that support folks with mental health. They're called 360 and they're in Ayr. And I went over and I saw them, and they were great, lovely folk, man. You know, the lads, men and women with mental health stuff, they were all lovely. But even at that, I felt like, you know what, it's way too early for me to get involved too much with groups, because it makes me feel it's far too raw, it's far too... If I'm in the flat, I can suppress all this crap, but when you're out and you're kind of talking about it, and it is good to talk about it, but it's way too raw. And that's, and I haven't been... My mum's 87 years old with heart problems, and I still haven't seen her. I haven't seen her for about the 2 months that I've been locked in a flat, because I guess family just trigger me. It brings up a lot of stuff, so I phone her and I talk to her on the phone, and I just reassure her that I'm okay. But it must be horrible for her to see me going through this shit. And you know, talking about the suicide stuff, I was really in such a horrific place that I said to my sister, you imagine saying to your sister, man, you've wrote out a will. Because I can't even cry about it, man, because I'm just so emotionally fucking dead, man. I made a will because then when I had spoke to her, I was shitting myself because I did not know if I could survive this. Really, just, I don't know, I think that's about it. I won't waffle on, but, so about the van coming back from the spray painting and getting up there, and I'm having to explain to this fella John, now listen, man, you have to just be careful how you kind of talk to me, and just and how we both work together, because I'm really fucked. I don't have the energy to work with them to do this, to do the joinery. I've got to try and save as much money as I can, because it's going to cost about £30,000 to get the van the way I want it, and that's not even finished inside. I'll need to do all the rest of the joinery work to finish it inside, but it's just to get all the repairs done to the van, resprayed. I mean, how much is that going to cost itself, you know, just to get the van patched up and resprayed? I don't know if you're talking about... a couple of £1,000. Surely it must be a couple of £1,000, because I got a price for just my one wing in the car to get replaced and resprayed, and that's 600, and that's just for a front wing for my car. So God knows what it's going to be like, cost to fill all these holes, but I'll keep all these receipts for the court. And I just thought, yeah, so that's kind of where it's at. And I'm just, I'm not even excited about the van, to be honest. I'm excited that it's getting done properly, but I've got so many big issues I'm just trying to hold together and keep my head together. And that's it. So hopefully the next video I'll be able to show you if I can get a kind of collage kind of video made up of all the shit work done in the van. And then hopefully when the van's done, maybe it'll be hopefully finished in the next 3 months. Or yeah, 3 or 4 months. And I'll give you a proper walkthrough of that. And get it online, you know. But that's about it, folks, man. I'm just having to stay up until my brain gets tired enough that I can go back to sleep. So as far as the support for these different mental health charities has been fantastic. And the people are just, they're just people volunteering their time and their love, man, and it's amazing. Really beautiful people, man. With compassion, man. Versus a shrink in the NHS that's as emotionally vacant as just void. I mean, if you choose a profession to be a psychiatrist or a psychologist, you'd think there was some passion there, you know, empathy, not sympathy, empathy. I was a carer for 6 years, man, and the reason that's the first job that I've held for that long, and the reason I managed to hold it for that long was because my wee clients that I used to care for were fantastic, man. And I knew that I could go there and care for them through love, and they gave you love back. You know, that's what society should be all about, man. A bit of empathy, compassion. Putting other people first, man. You know, Alan Timmins should have thought, here's a guy he's lost his father and he's lost his partner. And he's fucked in the head with his mental health, and he's got this aspiration. Now, if he had any type of a heart, he would say, here's an opportunity for me to make a wee bit of a profit, because that's his business. But man, surely I have the joy to think, man, I'm going to help this young guy fulfill this aspiration, which is such a profound aspiration, and really have the satisfaction of knowing that I've given him a quality product, and just to know that kid's enjoying himself, and I've been able to contribute to help him grieve for his father. But it's opposite. I'm so emotionally fucking void of anything. I've got the only thing I have left is anger, man. Anger. Rage. So that's my wee update. So just want to thank whoever watches the video to try and share it, you know, just so that I can get it out there. So I'll bid you good night, and hopefully this year will be a year of experiencing the positives in people, the generosity in people. And this guy John that's doing my van, he says, Aaron, I know you don't have the £20,000 to pay me for the work, and he's giving me finance, and he's not even putting pressure on that, because he's a very successful businessman. And that's why I'm kind of itching to get to court, so I can reclaim that money from Swinton Camper Van Companies, so I can pay John for the quality of the work that he's doing in my van, because he deserves it, and he deserves more than what I can actually give him. But it's amazing when you see him, and he's not a man of faith, but it doesn't matter, because you can see his heart, you can see his passion, You can see that he's very sympathetic to my cause and he's excited about helping me. Versus Alan Timmins, who is just so emotionally, you actually feel sorry for him. Because out with his company, he's got nothing in his life to make him happy, and that's why he's vacant. And that's why he can't empathise with you. And the psychiatrist says that I've got antisocial personality disorder. I think it's Alan Timmins that's got some form of disorder, because there's no compassion in that man. It's all just greed and bitterness. Because I remember, because I told you about, I managed to get, I didn't realise, but I got the police to arrest him and take him in for questioning. Because they told me, Ian, if I knew you were a Catholic, I would have taken on the job. And to prove that statement, well, I know it was true, but to prove to you that actually it could have been a true statement, because me as a wee boy, because I was broken, and I was talking to him through the lens of a broken wee boy, I was trying to appeal to some bit of humanity in him, because the wee boy in me knew that he was going to screw me, and I couldn't stop him. So that's when I was sharing these stories about my recovery and about how my faith helped me. And he says, Ian, I don't believe in that shit. I mean, I drive my wife to the church, and I drop her off, and she goes to mass, and I sit in the car outside, and I'll wait for her till she's finished mass, and then she gets in the car and I go home. Now, how would I know that his wife is a woman of faith? She must have a strong faith, because God knows why she's still with him. But so if we weren't talking about if we weren't having any conversation relating to faith or anything, how would I possibly know that his wife is a woman of faith and that he takes her to mass and drops her off and he sits in the car? So that's proof in itself that my conversation with him all the way through was trying to appeal to that better nature and sharing my experience about how my faith saved me from suicide, just like it did there. And the third time it was like I was really shitting myself, because I don't want to die. I want to enjoy this experience to the van. So that's why my faith's so important to me. So it's just a wee thing for you to think about, if, about the conversation about faith. Because how would I know otherwise that his wife's a woman of faith? So I won't waffle on, so I'll leave you at that, but just please share the video. There's a wee bit of support for me. Okay, folks. Cheers. Take care.